Part 2 Halloween Rob Zombie review and rant.
We left off at
Okay. So after we left off with Michael grunting and killing those hicks, then it cuts to Lori's living with Annie Brackett and her sheriff dad. And Annie's all scarred up, and she survived, I guess, from the first one.
And she's like adopted by Mr. Brackett.
And they live out in the country, of course, because they like shot the thing in Georgia.
And then Brackett's talking about starving Marvin, like using filler lines. Go.
Filler lines, and then they're eating, and Lori's like a vegetarian or something, and she like swallows some meat, and she goes to spit it out. And at the same time, they're showing Michael like hunting like killing a rabbit
with his zip hoodie
and eating it raw, like
with like his long beard, looking like freaking Jesus.
Then it cuts to another like flashback dream. You think it's Michael dreaming of Sherry Moon Zombie and like the kid Michael Myers again. And it shows like a bunch of whack masks, and it's just actors like in like prop masks.
It's like like the Hollywood like West Wing, and they had just extra masks
and
laying
like,
out, and the grips like got them all
on
out.
LSD or something.
And they're like,
what is this?
And the dream sequence, they're all sitting at the dinner table with all these weird creatures.
About how Rob Zombie got into the project late, and I guess he didn't want to do it probably because he killed off his wife, and he puts his wife in every movie. So he's like, oh, how can I put my wife in this one?
How can I put her back in it?
Oh, they're
dream sequences.
Oh yeah, she's evil, and yeah, they're coming home or something. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Just an excuse for him to put his wife in another one of his movies, even though she's an awful actress. And I'm not even just saying that, she is. Just watch the first one.
He just put her in there for filler to like add an extra 30 minutes.
And then Lori
Go on.
So then Lori wakes up from that dream, and it's like, it shows the clock, and it's like 7:03 a.m. And then after that, she walks over into a room, and then she starts like daydreaming that she's like the killer from like the first one.
Oh no, yeah, this is retarded how he makes.
And then so
totally
it's like, so she wakes up from her dream and starts dreaming again, like, is she insane or something? And you're like, it's stupid.
And you're like, alright, great, okay.
A dream within a dream, like the opening to Scream 4 or something, and you're like, okay. And then it pans on Myers like he's like in a cornfield, and it shows like arriving in Haddonfield, like it's the Lord of the Rings or something, like a huge like cornfield. It pans out, and you're like, okay. Then it cuts to Loomis denying Myers is alive again.
Oh yeah. He freaking destroyed Lewis's character. Destroyed him.
And then and you're like, and so Myers finally makes it to Haddonfield. You're like, what has he been doing the past year? And you're like, okay. And then it took him like a year to get there. Then it cuts to like the strip bar, the titty bar that like his mom worked at.
I didn't even have to go to this, but freaking Rob Zombie wrote in like, oh yeah, I can put it in there. Like, hey, she worked there, so I can put it back.
He goes there to get revenge.
He goes there to get revenge on the strip club owner.
That's what he's been thinking about all those years in solitary confinement.
He's like, yeah, who am I gonna get?
Going back to, why didn't he do that in the first one? That's probably what he would have done instead of.
I'm gonna get the boss of my mom who used to shake her G-string.
So then it's like goes to the white trash guy in the parking lot, and he's like, "What? You want a piece of me?"
Oh yeah, no, it's another Fuller scene where like they're talking.
And it's just like Rob Zombie's like best friend or something.
It's like Rob Zombie's best friend or cousin or something, like playing this guy, like taking out the trash.
He's
like,
"You want a piece?"
He's like, "You want a piece of me? You want to go?" And it goes on for like a minute and a half of them talking.
And it's like a wide open parking lot. He wouldn't even have started like talking shit to him. And then he walks like right into him. And it's like another raw like scene that like goes on forever. Right? Beats like a dead body bag.
It's another like dummy like that the grips brought out.
Then it cuts into the bar, and it shows him killing the boss and like the topless stripper. Those kills are actually pretty tight.
Is that the one where he has the action now?
No, that's in the hospital.
Alright, go on,
the
go on.
one
Yeah,
that
yeah,
just
yeah.
skipped in the first. He pulled out the axe like it's H2O.
Like it's H2O. Go
But
on.
of course you skipped that. Then Loomis book signing, and it shows Haddonfield October 30th. The next day. And this is when, like, Linda's, like, dad, who's, like, a total actor, like, comes in there and pulls out a gun. No, he shows
Oh,
a
my
picture of Linda,
goodness.
and he's like, and then
Oh,
it's
this is
just,
retarded.
it's just like a suspense scene to, like, throw it
it's
in
a
there.
total Fuller scene for Loomis. Like, it's completely
Like, deleted
hey,
scene,
because
please.
of you in this book. Like, oh my goodness.
He's like, I'm sorry for your loss.
And Loomis, I'm sorry.
Okay, and then, so, Laurie is walking in downtown Haddonfield and buys Loomis's book. And then it cuts to, like, a parking lot, like, slow motion, emotional scene, and
great.
she's reading the book, and she's like,
She's like, I'm totally fucked.
No, and
Oh,
she's
my
like,
goodness.
fuck.
It's like so Rob Zombie.
You're like, you need to tell me that Rob Zombie went to the freaking computer and types in, Laurie reads Loomis book. Fuck, like 10 times. Alright, print.
He's writing the script.
Send this to the Weinsteins.
He's writing the script. Alright, send it. Good. Print it, run it.
Alright, what does Laurie say? He doesn't even, like, make any different from himself. It's just, like, his own personality written into, like, Laurie's character at that point. At a bunch of points. And in a bunch of other characters.
Next.
The acting's pretty good. I like all the actors, but it's just hardcore Rob Zombie lines, of course.
Hardcore Rob Zombie.
And you're like, what the heck? Were, like, the Weinsteins on the set of Inglourious Bastards or something while Rob was doing this?
Yeah, another movie that sucked. Go on.
And then it's like, Loomis making his rounds again, of course, on a TV show with Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh yeah,
Might as well have been Rob Zombie next up there.
Yeah, Weird Al Yankovic on stage. Like, it's pretty funny though how they ripped him the whole time though. It's pretty good one though.
Then it cuts to Laurie later that night, and it gets dark, and it's like, I guess it's Halloween. I don't even know if they say it or if it's Devil's Night. I don't even remember. And then Laurie, like, takes a sip of beer, and she's like, I'm fucked. And she's like, woo, let's go and party. After, like, 3 sips of beer in this scene, she's like, I'm Michael Myers' I'm Michael Myers' sister. I'm fucked. So let's go out and get butchered by him 1 year later. She's not even Annie's friend. Annie stays home to, like, hit the one-hitter in the closet or something, and you're like, okay.
Go on.
So then they go to the costume party, and it's just like a buttload of extras, and it pans over, and it's like rock music, of course, because it's Rob Zombie.
It's like Rob Zombie's
movie.
like family, extended family, and everyone like in a bunch of grips, like dancing. Go on.
And then the cops patrolling out in the country at Annie's house, and she's like, "What are you doing? I'm trying to freaking hit the bowl." And he's like,
and the cap's like, alright, just stand on the porch freezing, like, okay, go on.
And then so
Next
one of Laurie's friends like runs into like the wolf, this kid dressed up as the wolf man, which is like the kid from Glory Days.
She goes to freaking get herpes from Teen Wolf. Go on.
In his van, in his like 80s van. And then so then it's just a bunch of Michael Myers lions, and they're about to do it, and he's like, I gotta take a piss, and then he goes out, and then Myers kills him. And then Myers like starts beating on the van, like,
and then it's again with the shaky cam, like during the kill, and it's like, oh my goodness, and zoomed in, like,
and it's just like, and it starts rattling, and the cage, like it's freaking gorilla, like it's freaking
King Kong.
Like it's King Kong again, and you're like, okay. And he busts in there and like kills that slut. And then it cuts to Laurie, like wasted on the dance floor. Then
she starts going through like a euphoric state, and she's like, and then
it starts showing digital snow in a Halloween movie.
Snow and it's Rob Zombie's wife again, the white, and then freaking the little Michael Myers.
No way.
And you're like, oh my goodness, again, and it's just so pathetic. Going.
And then she's like, okay, let's get him or something. But then in that time, Myers shows up at Brackett's house, which is all the way in the country. How he made it there, and
That's a pretty tight.
his resources, like
That's
he
like
went
the
to
only
like
tight shot where he shows
hell knows.
Michael Myers, behind the tree, and when the sheriff's coming out, he comes off the porch, and then Michael Myers, and then they cut it, and Michael Myers comes out behind the tree and then kills him. That's the only like tight shot of the whole movie. All right, check out part 3 of the Halloween Rob Zombie 2 rant.